All right, what's up, homies? Welcome back. We're doing War 3. D69 versus rolx2, rolx2. It was a fun one. It was a fun war. I had 6 fights this war. Let's see, we had 6B, 6A, and then Doom in the middle with Annihilus on the Feats of Vigilance and Missing in Action mini boss node. Used to be the old Rage node. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun this war. Had Dormammu on 6A, followed by Angela, who is Unstoppable Armor, and then Doom on Power Snack. Oh no, 7 fights. Forgot about Dragon Man. Had Dragon Man on Footloose, and then Bishop and Storm Pyramid X on 6B, and then Annihilus on the mini. Had to take a little different from my typical team. It was She-Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, and I did Vision Age of Ultron instead of Nimrod because of Bishop. Nimrod does not work versus Bishop. I don't exactly know the interaction, haven't bothered to look, but it's something to the effect of like either the shocks or maybe stuff that he purifies. It's like passive damage to Nimrod the whole fight. So while he does kill Bishop, he also dies himself. So wasn't gonna risk that. So I brought AOU instead. Takes a lot longer, but it's super safe. And I also played, I'm going to show my mastery setups for each one of these, just to, dive a little deeper so you guys can see. It's a little longer, the video is, as a result, but hopefully hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully it works. I'll show the band attackers too, which basically never apply to me, because I don't use the typical attackers that, are usually brought to war. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. AOU, man, he's a really good champ, but he takes a long time. And I had to play Storm Pyramid X as stun immune because of the node. So I also, I rolled Max Tech Collar in this, which is awesome. If you couple Max Tech Collar with Mr. Fantastic's combat power rate pre-fight, it's like 25, 35, 43% combat power reduction. Plus, I maxed Petrify, which is another 30% per hit while they're stunned. So that would be what? 73% combat power reduction during a stun. That's wild. So here's the first fight. That was, as you saw, I picked my attackers, and you saw the band list. So this is the first fight, and this is my mastery setup here. You can see I'm rolling 2 in Stupefy or Petrify there. I just went ahead and removed Dexterity for Dormammu. I mean, you don't really have to. His Degen's kind of weak, especially when you're boosted, because it doesn't stack. He needs a buff. He's got some synergies. I have a rank 3 Dormammu, and he's got some synergies that, could make him okay. I mainly, having him at rank 3 was for defense, but it would be kind of cool. Like, he's got a good synergy for Immortal Hulk, where he starts at like half life, but like twice the gamma, which is pretty awesome. So it's nice to have champs that are ranked, even if they just provide a synergy. It's nice to have them ranked just for any kind of use if you need them. I'm a huge fan of synergies. I talk about them all the time, and I will continue to do so. I always really loved synergies, so I try to rank champs, especially now. I basically rank champs if they have a great synergy for themselves or for somebody else. I'll rank them as a result. So we'll boost it up here. Went with big boosts just because I don't want to die. Yeah, obvious reasons, right? I went light on the on both those science boosts because didn't really need them. They're only going to be for Mr. Fantastic through this tier 1 path into Doom, and he doesn't really need them. I mean, I guess they're for She-Hulk as well, but again, these are smaller nodes. You can see their health pools. The health buff isn't that much, so. And plus I only have 2 of each left of the 200% and 12% science. And I don't know when they're gonna come back in the store. I needed at least 1 of each of those for Annihilus later on, so. So yeah, deck's off for this fight. Dormammu, he's pretty much a gimmick. Whiff bait right there, bait out that level 1, rush back in. This is that prowess puncture node, so you can see like I'm alternating basic attacks because while I wasn't worried about his specials, that prowess puncture, the puncture part is what hurts because they stack block penetration with each prowess, and so you really do want to alternate your combo or alternate your basic attacks so you don't stack those because it hurts. Even just parry block hurts. So here we go, put Dex back on. I just chained these together. I didn't even separate the fights, I don't think. Or I may have. Yeah, I think I set a pre-fight here. In hindsight, I didn't really need to do this. I think I did a combat power rate just because of power focus, but it, you know, didn't need to at all because she basically stops at 2 bars of power anyway. Both her specials are easy to evade, and she's not going to go red, so didn't need to, but it doesn't matter. So I still got the science boosts. I think I put an invulnerability on here, and then I also roll it right into Doom. Don't need level 1 start for her or Doom, so whenever you don't need that, you can always use an invulnerability because always helps. Always. This has got, what, aggression prowess on it, I believe. Yeah, I think I was actually using the power down tactic right there. Or not. No, that's Mr. Fantastic's combat power rate, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't need the power down. It's just for extra debuffs. Against some champs, sure, you know, power gainers and whatnot, but she lays enough of her own debuffs. This fight was satisfying because I basically finished with full yellow bar, which is always good. Step back level 1, and she drops. Drop kick. And Doom, this was actually a rank 4 Doom. Not a big surprise there. You know, he's a top prestige champ as well as just a top champ of the game. We had someone else who was well equipped to take him as well with a Spider 99. But I needed the pre-fights because I ended up disseminating those later on the boss and or other minis, plus myself. So yeah, if you could ever get one fight for Mr. Fantastic, it really helps because you can usually, you finish with 5, 6, even 7 pre-fights, and then you can load yourself up for various fights and then teammates too. But he really does. He owns Doom here. It's a fun fight. You just have to, you can see later on, I think I get tagged a few times, indestructible or invulnerability comes into play, but the evade, with all these debuffs on you and or the opponent, he gains 5% evade chance per debuff on either you or the opponent. So like towards the end of this fight, I think I do like a whole bunch of passive evades, and I think I get tagged as a result. Boom. The rubber band sounds, they're good, right? Boom. Yeah. It takes a little longer. As I've discussed, it does take a little longer with Mr. Fantastic. But Doom's typically kind of a longer fight anyway because he's got that crit resistance, But Mr. Fantastic just shuts it down. He's got all the tools. You know, backup recovery, look at that, nothing. Doesn't do anything. And his level 1 is just nerfed now. Careful studied. And then I think I started just chaining level 1s here just to try to finish with an extra 2 debuffs. Could have gone to level 3, got that Fury, but there's no real reason to. No fear of losing the fight or anything. I'd rather finish with more pre-fights. There it is, all that evasion. Oh, it's beautiful. You just have to be mindful of it. And when you block his level 1, like, I find it best just to block as opposed to dexing out of it, which you can. You can dex out of the last part of it, but then you get a dexterity buff. And then when you dash back in, oftentimes it'll turn to shock. And Doom, you know, when you got shock on you, he will spam those heavies and catch you. So I find it best to just hold block against him. And if you have Mr. Fantastic, you know, he'll often, you know, passive evades either some or all the hits, and even if not, it doesn't do much, especially when it's careful studied. Dragon Man, you know, She-Hulk just bodies him. Any Mystic, with the exception of Maw on this node, pretty much just gets wrecked by She-Hulk. Her spacing versus Ebony Maw is just not good at all. No matter what you do, whether you corner yourself, you don't have time to counter his heavy with a heavy, he can dex out of it. If it's out in space and he does a heavy, you can't even like do a light and then heavy. You just can't do it, like, at least not consistently that I've found. Yeah, and I'm sure it's designed that way. She's an older champ, Ebony Maw's newer. Spider-Man 2099 though, he's set up perfectly. Same with Overseer. Both of them can dex and then heavy counter against Ebony Maw. Look at that, beautiful, that petrify. You let them hit your block and it just power drains them. This fight's just kind of a joke with She-Hulk. Yeah, I think I was doing, power down, stacking 6 of them there. Look at that, his power just drops. I think I'd change some heavies here because, you know, that heavy spam. I'm about it. Oh. Yeah, right there. I was gonna go for the heavy, but I saw that he had a bar of power, so I dropped the level 1, assuming that he was going to counter or try to do a level 1 into my face. So that's why I dropped the level 1 to prevent that, but then he blocked the level 1. Oftentimes they won't, they'll just get hit by it. But as you saw, I was able to block in time. That right there was me showing my max collar tech, or tech collar, however you want to say it. I think it's collar tech actually, if you want to be technical. Showing what I spec'd into there, max tech collar. Combat power rate, could have done petrify here just to speed things up a bit, but I figured he's got heal block, so don't really need to. This is a longer fight, but it's so safe. It's just super safe. He's never going to get to any level 1, level 2, anything. He will never get any bar of power. So that means no incinerate. That means nothing. He just sits there like a turd in the corner. As long as your parries are on point. But with that level 1 start, you probably don't even need a level 1 start, to be honest, but why not? We get tons of them, right, from compensation, and it just makes things super safe. I don't have 6-star OGV, the original Vision. Just too expensive. I have him as a 5-star, and I've loved him. I never even got into AOU Vision, to tell you the truth, as a 4-star or a 5-star. I always touted OGV as being the better Vision, but they both have their strengths. He does, in fact, have more power control, like AOU does, because he will never go red. That's what I found with even my 5-star AOU, or I'm sorry, my 5-star OGV. I don't have it maxed. I have it like 150 because I don't like going to 2 bars of power straight away. But yeah, I've had that happen a handful of times where you're in a fight and you need to dance around for whatever reason, buy time, you know, waiting for something to fall off or something, and he goes red, and that just messes up your whole rotation. That never happens with Age of Ultron Vision. So that's big. That's pretty big. Now, granted, starting with synthesis and getting, you know, 1.5 bars of power with OGV is really nice, and it definitely has its uses. And I'll end up getting them, I'm sure, but he's got to be cheaper. I'm not paying whatever the hell he costs, 15K or whatever, and obviously you have to get him duped. So this fight did take a while because I didn't want to parry. You know, you can probably get a couple parries, but you know, you get that disorient on you, and then your defensive ability accuracy is kind of neutered a bit. Plus, I think it's they get block penetration, so I didn't want to mess with any of that. So I just played her stunning you the whole fight. Definitely takes a while, but you know, I kept that combat power rate pre-fight up. As long as you're on point with you know, evading her heavy and retaliating, then it's no biggie. Her heavy's pretty slow, the recovery time, so you have time to dex out and retaliate. She glances a lot of these basic attacks, if not all of them. But it doesn't matter. She doesn't glance specials. I have her as a rank 1 6-star unduped. Her dupe isn't really important. It's basically she gets both Tempests at low health. And I was gonna rank her. I really need to rank a mutant. My resources are just like, I can't open any more T5C crystals, shards, any of that, because I am about to go max on mutant T5C, and I don't have any mutants I want to rank. I don't care about Red Magneto. He's rank 2, dude. Don't want to rank him. A lot of these newer tech champs are like immune to his magnetism. Yeah, look at that. Good stuff. Rank 2 Colossus, duped a few times. Don't really want to rank him to rank 3. He's a great champ, for sure. So is Magneto. But I have white mags at rank 3, and I use him way more than I use red mags. And those are my only 2 rank 2 mutants right now. The rest are already rank 3 or rank 1. And I wanted to bring Storm Pyramid X up, but I don't know. Can't do it. I can't cancel her heavy charge into a level 1 or level 2 to save my life. And I can cancel everyone else's. Can't do hers though. So anyway, this is the fight right here. So this is a tough fight. Feats of Vigilance, missing in action. Yeah, it's challenging. You know, I'm faltering all over the place in this fight, and there's not really a good counter. We're thinking maybe stealth, Feats of Vigilance, power efficiency, missing in action 2, return policy, and he's under unstoppable armor. So yeah, it's tricky. It is tricky. I knew she's capable because she pwns Annihilus everywhere else. I've fought him a ton of times, but you just have to mind the falter. You know, and it's kind of, you know, Feats of Vigilance, I know it's intentional, but it seems like you get rewarded. You should get rewarded if you hit them with a special or a heavy, you know, before the timer expires, so that they get faltered, which they do. But the buff that they get from the node is Vigilance. So like, even if they get faltered, they have Vigilance half the time, and you can't even you don't even get your reward. Whereas you can't even capitalize on the falter, you know, because he's going to go through it anyway. So that's kind of annoying. I mean, the node's hard enough as it is, you know. I figured they'd put a different, give him any other buff, you know. But yeah, this fight started off real strong. She heals a ton, as you can see from all the debuffs he puts on her. That plus falter's also a debuff. Bomb right in the face. Boop. Yeah, it starts off strong, and then these falters start coming like crazy, because it's like that timer starts, and it's like a 4-second timer. It starts whenever any buff expires on the defender. And you know, he's got active unstoppable, and he's got fury, and I don't know if his rod counts as a buff. It probably does. Stacking furies there, and the armor up. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. The power scene's putting in work. Still going well, but then yeah, then it starts like I'm having to just do all this, calculate as I go, lots of blocking. And she's just sustaining with all the healing, you know. But I can't counter anything. You know, I'm faltering all over the place. Look at that. Yeah, falter right in the face. So it pushes me red here. Whiff bait, bait the level 1, counter. Let's go ahead and launch this. Let's get out of the corner here, you know. Now they go stun immune whenever, if they get passive unstoppable from that armor up. So like, and plus I didn't want to send him to level 2 anyway, because that thing hurts on block. And I can't really evade it. I'm sure you can, but it's challenging, and I'm not going to mess with all that more. So yeah, I just like let that stun expire from the level 3. Back at it, you know, I got to land a heavy here. Get slow back up. Sorcerer Supreme would be great, except that this is like a nullify node, whereas like he gets tons of power if when you nullify, and you know, so you can't really use her, or else you're probably going to send him red. She has slow, she has all the technology apart from you know, that nullify consequence on the node. But yeah, so I'm backed in a corner here, and then I end it because this dude gets falter on him, and I just walk up to him. Hit me, there it is. I was pissed at him, and I saw my window start to get cocky, you know? Anyway, I hope you guys liked it. It was a fun war. Yeah, so we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.